Welcome to episode 4 of the Teaching English in Japan podcast, sponsored by the Teaching English in Japan guide and viewers just like you.
How you going, Eric?
Not bad.
How was your week?
Actually, it was pretty good.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I had a good week too. What did you get up to last weekend?
Let's see. I got my little notepad down here, and at the top of the list is, drum roll, JR was late.
That's a rarity, actually.
Yeah, I think the funny thing is the second time it's happened this school year. It wasn't that late. It was maybe 5-10 minutes late, which is an infinity for the Japanese railroad system. Usually it's to the second, would you say?
Yeah, it's pretty close. I mean, they are very, very punctual compared to other railway systems throughout the world.
I mean, if the schedule says 5:05, if you come 5:06, you missed it.
You're gone. Yeah, that's it.
I know in America or in Hawaii, especially the bus schedule, the time on it, yeah, right. So, an hour before or after, maybe, you know.
It's pretty much like that in Australia too, especially with the trains. The express train, for a start, my wife just laughs. An express train sort of stops after 2 or 3 stops, or, the express train is coming at 5:04, and then all of a sudden there's an announcement, and, it's been cancelled.
Cancelled.
And, or it just doesn't come.
Yeah, it was pretty funny because I got on the train and it didn't move. Usually the doors open, 5, 10, 20 seconds later, doors shut and it moves, so it just stopped. And there was a bunch of JR staff activity going on and people looking down the tracks. So I have a feeling there was something happened. I don't think anybody was actually hurt or anything. It's probably a malfunctioning gate train thing. What do you call those things? Railroad crossing. Yeah, something like that. Didn't seem too severe. It was like maybe 5 minutes late or something. So not so bad. The second thing on my list is last Sunday I went to my mountain retreat.
Oh, in the mountains, were we?
Yeah, my in-laws have a pretty nice house up in the mountains, and my father-in-law is an alcohol drinker. Let's just call it that. He's not a beer drinker. He's more of a sake and shochu. Shochu, what is that? I guess it can be potato alcohol or yam alcohol or
it's that
like a vodka-ish.
So you've got the mugi too, which is like the wheat, haven't you? So you've got that and the sweet potatoes, isn't it? And,
sweet potatoes, regular potatoes.
Yeah, the rice, and there's so many different kinds.
So it's sake is rice wine. Shochu is alcohol.
Exactly.
No doubt. And my father-in-law drinks it with water. Mixed with water, or sometimes with oolong tea.
All right. Yeah.
So, and usually ice cube or not. He doesn't care. He'll drink it warm. Anything. He loves his shochu. And so we went up there, hung out during the day, and anytime I go there, he insists that I drink, even if it's the middle of the day and I drove. Oh, you're drinking. So I had about 3 or 4 big Asahi cans, which were stored in the garage cooler, a garage refrigerator, so they're ice cold, delicious.
And that's a good beer too. It's not a bad beer.
Yeah.
And when it's really cold, I mean, this time of the year, beer's the go, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. A nice cold Asahi. Oh man, it doesn't get much better than that. After a day of work or sitting on the balcony overlooking the valley in the mountains, yeah, it's pretty nice.
And I suppose he treated you to an ice cold glass as well to kick it off.
Of course. Well, he didn't. He called Mom, bring a beer. There is no him getting up. It's usually rice. No, please. He'll just sit there drinking, eating gohan. He tilts his head to the side and spits out gohan on the side, which is rice in Japanese. So he's definitely old school. He's old school. Yeah. And we had beer and a lot of fresh fish. I'm not actually sure what the fish was. It was definitely from the sea, not freshwater. Smaller size, white meat fish, and they grilled it with sea salt.
Oh, that'd be nice.
It was good. In the fish grill inside the oven. And if you take a look at the video we put up on YouTube, you can see what the oven looks like and the fish grill on the inside. But their house actually has a professional stove. So imagine that times 2 or 3 the size. So it's a really nice broiler underneath. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Next thing on my list is I've been helping this kid who was drafted to do a speech contest. He actually hates English. I asked him, do you like English? He goes, no, I like history. But his teacher decided that he was going to be in the speech contest. And coached him for about 2 to 3 weeks, 2 days a week. And we got second place in the contest.
Cool.
And he's going on to the finals for Kyushu, the whole island of Kyushu.
Well, that's good because that's a pretty big deal down here.
Yeah, and he goes to a school which is Kogyo, which is a technical high school, which is not known for academics. He's actually in the electrical electrician program. So it's kind of interesting that actually he did second place in an English speech contest where they really don't have much English in their curriculum at all.
And that's good because it works in his benefit for the future, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And, of course, when you're young and dumb, you don't realize that in the future you might actually have to work with people from other countries. So, kids usually don't care about English. I mean, when I took Spanish in high school, same thing. Spanish, I don't need Spanish. Everyone speaks English. But, it would be nice to have a little bilingual action going on sometimes.
Yeah, well, it comes in handy, doesn't it? Especially if you're on holidays or something.
Oh yeah, Cancun or Costa Rica, any of those places. So yeah, he's a pretty good kid. So he's smart. He memorized a 5-minute speech. And
that's a lot for him down here too.
Yeah,
I mean, to do that, it's a pretty big deal.
Plus his class load. He doesn't just take English. He's got everything else to worry about. So he's a pretty smart kid. So pretty stoked that he got second. He beat out one of my other schools where last minute they asked me to help another student at another school. I was like, no, my boy's going to kick your ass. So we definitely stomped him. So I made sure I rubbed it in today at the office.
Oh, well done.
And lastly on my list is my son has been at daycare full-time for about a week now. And, man, is he picking up a lot of Japanese quick. I really, really got to turn on the afterburners of the English learning, or this kid will not be able to speak English. So raising bilingual kids is kind of hard for them and for the parents. So you have to force yourself to, after a long day at work, to actually spend some time speaking English to your kid, or in the future, the English or whatever language you're trying to teach them is not going to be that great. So
yeah, it's really important. Yeah. It's the same with my daughter. It's all Japanese at school all day. It's all Japanese with mum, and it's I try to make sure that it's only English, when she comes home. But and on the weekends,
yeah, definitely.
Sometimes it's not. But try to she started to realise too now that this book, Daddy can't read this book. This is a Japanese book. And goes and gets the English book and brings it back.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
She doesn't really realise that it's 2 languages, but she realises, Daddy can read this one and Mummy can read this one.
Yeah.
So, when they pick it up, their minds are like, they're sponges at
oh,
the
man,
ages
that's
that
an
they're at,
understatement.
and they just suck it all in.
I said shit. My son knows it perfectly now. And actually, let's go back to my father-in-law. He was some guy called him. He was like, "Baka, baka, baka." My son goes, "Baka." So he knows it now.
Oh yeah, they pick it up.
They are sponges. So my son is a year younger than my son's 2 years. How old's your daughter? 3?
3.5. Yeah,
3.5.
Yeah.
So a year and a half younger. So he has no clue. He throws out Japanese and English vocabulary. He doesn't make sentences yet, but Japanese English vocabulary, and then his own thrown in there, his own natural language that we haven't.
But he'll work it out.
Yeah,
they work it out, and they realise, Mummy says this, Daddy says this. Yeah. So what I try and do is not that my Japanese is great, but for example, tambo is rice field. English.
Yeah.
So Mummy says tambo, Daddy says, rice field. So she's getting to know. Mummy says this, Daddy says this. She doesn't know